I'm your host, Rebecca, the Realtor. Thank you for joining Bars Underground, where we come together in the local Brandon, Apollo, Riverview, Ruskin, and Sun City areas to grow, learn, and network with one another. Again, thank you for joining Bars Underground. Hey everybody, this is Rebecca with 54 Realty and Bars Underground. So Bars Underground, as you know, is the acronym for our local area that we live in. So Brandon, Apollo, Ruskin, Riverview, and Sun City. And I'm here today with Courtney, and Courtney has a really cool business that we want to discuss. So Courtney, welcome. Thanks for coming in and spending some time with me today. It's really nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited.
So tell me, what's the name of your business?
So our business is called Sawdust and Sunflowers, LLC.
Okay.
And we were created, it's been in the works in the hamster wheel up here for 20 years.
Oh wow, so for a long time then you've been like looking into doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
I decided very young I wanted to do this, never could.
Okay.
And we just put it into play. We opened May 1st of this year.
Okay, so tell us what you do. What does your business do?
So I own it's a women's clothing boutique.
Okay.
Clothing, accessories, shoes, and currently we started, everything is online because we didn't have the revenue to start
Like
a brick and mortar business.
Mhm.
So our goal was to start it online, selling everything online. Once we had the revenue kind of where we needed it to, then we were going to take it in steps. Eventually our end goal is to convert a vintage camper because I love vintage.
Oh, that's cool. Like an actual like RV camper,
Yes,
like
so
an Airstream or something.
Not an Airstream. The older ones, they're white on top and the bottom half was like a pastel color.
Okay.
But convert one of those into a mobile boutique.
Very cool.
That way we could travel, we could do pop-up markets. And so that's the goal. And the boutique that we have it's pretty awesome. It's pretty special to me. I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it.
That's great.
I might cry. So
okay, well listen, that's okay.
I'm very passionate about it. It's we carry a variety of styles and we carry sizes extra small up to 6X.
I saw that. That was awesome. That was one of the things that like really attracted me to having you come in, because sometimes I think most, not even just boutiques, but just like in clothing in general, like you're lucky to find like 1/16. Like if you can find a 16 of anything, then you're lucky, because 6X is like unheard of. I mean, you have to go to like a different type of store altogether for larger sizes.
And it's very frustrating to me. And to me, when I think of a boutique, I'm like, okay, that's going to be a lot of money. I'm going to be shelling out a lot of money, because to me, boutique is like fancy and it doesn't have to be as expensive as they make it. Like, I'm not out here to make $1 million. If I did, that would be amazing, because there's a lot of things to do with that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we're big on our community, so there's a lot of people I could help with $1 million. But I wanted somewhere that people of all ages, all skin colors, all demographics, all backgrounds, all sizes could go in one location and find good quality, affordable clothes.
So what are your price points then typically?
So my goal is to have nothing over $50.
Okay.
There are a few things that are on our website right now that are over $50. No clothing piece is, but there are some shoes.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have shoes. I mean, those are our accessories.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are more of the flashy, knee-high neon pink heeled boots. I'm not sure those will stay.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to keep it, nothing over $50. Most of our clothing is 24. I'm not good on odd numbers,
Uh-huh.
so I don't have a lot of things for like $25, and
Okay.
I'm not good on change.
Okay.
I want it even. Simple. Most items are priced $24 to $34.
Okay.
There's a few things that are 40. You know, the outerwear, the jackets that we have, those are more costly to produce, more
Mhm.
costly for me to purchase.
Mhm.
So those, I think most of those are $45.
Okay.
So it's very reasonable. You know, I took our kids to go school shopping, and we went to the mall, and you know, I have 3 teenagers, so
Mhm.
they want to go to the mall, and
Mhm.
we went into this store, and they had these pair of jeans in there. I think they were like $82.
I know.
It's like, oh my gosh, I sell jeans for $42.
Right.
And you know, to me, that was it almost broke my heart to put that cost, because
Yeah.
to me, $42 is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It is, absolutely.
But it's the cost.
Well, I mean, you have to get it to you.
Yeah,
Right?
the cost is what it is. So, but I'm like, still, that's half the price of what these people are paying in these big chain stores.
Sure.
So that was that's going to be one of our goals that we will probably talk about is
Mhm.
getting it out there.
How are you getting your clothes? Like, where are they coming from? How are you sourcing them? And are you going to shows, or what's happening? How are you getting on the wholesale there?
So right now we use drop shipping.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I guess, all the rave. I knew nothing about it,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, until about summer of last year is when I really started to consider doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's been a whirlwind with 3 kids and
Just managing
life.
everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
life is just crazy. So I started researching seriously about summer of last year and on how I could do this
Mhm.
in the avenues and the different ways, because things are so different now. So we use drop shipping. I researched a bunch of different vendors just because I wanted to make sure that the shipping was good, the quality was good, they had good reviews, they had the products that I wanted. Unfortunately, there's not one company that has
Mm-hmm.
everything that I wanted to include. Vendors are kind of like boutiques,
Mhm.
so I had to go and use multiple sources. There's 3 vendors that I kind of narrowed down to that met all of those things, checked all my boxes.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a relationship. You want to make sure.
Yeah, like, right, that you
Yeah.
have a good one, and they're fitting your price points that you're trying to meet, because like you said, that $50 and under is where you need to be, right? But you want
Yes.
good quality items as well, right? So I mean,
Yes.
that's pretty important. Yeah.
And so I did a lot of research. I use 3 different vendors right now. I plan on expanding those vendors. There are a list I have when we can get in-person items, and I have inventory on stock to do, because not every vendor does drop shipping and wholesale.
Mm.
So that's been one of the hard parts is there's a couple of vendors that I really want to use, but they only do wholesale,
Oh, okay.
and I don't have the revenue
Mhm.
to buy the wholesale products.
Mhm. So it's
Yeah.
like this like
Yeah.
revolving thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just using these 3. They have, all 3 of them have warehouses in the United States, which was important to me because I want, American
Yeah.
products. They also have warehouses in China
Okay.
and Canada.
Mhm.
I wanted to really limit what came in from China just because the quality aspect made me a little bit nervous. Also, super patriot.
Mm-hmm.
So, really wanted to hone in on the U.S. aspect, but that was kind of a bullet that I had to bite.
Mhm.
Like my husband explained, everything is made in China.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you can't get away from it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Everything is made in China or overseas somewhere. A lot of our products are made in Vietnam and Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
that is, and unfortunately, that has a lot to do with the cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of our products are a lot higher, even though they're made in the United States.
Mhm.
the shipping is cheaper,
Yeah.
but the cost of the product is higher.
Right. So you're kind of like in this whirlwind of like, you compromise one thing for the other and making those kind of decisions as a business person, right?
100%. And I do stand behind, you know, our products, anything. Obviously, I haven't seen all of the products that we have, but if someone orders something and they're not happy with the quality or the fit, then let me know.
Yeah.
I'll either
feedback.
refund you the money, because I'm, you know, this is new to me also. So I'm working work in progress as it goes. So we can send it back, we can do a refund, an exchange, and we're just, you know, I had a fourth vendor that we were using, and I dropped them already. We're 2-3 months into the business, and
they just weren't working out for
I
you.
wasn't impressed. They had really good reviews, but for me, I wasn't impressed.
So you just mentioned that you haven't seen your products necessarily. So is your goal to, you know, what's your bigger vision? So you mentioned that you want to have your mobile business, right? That you want to do it mobile. Now, are you doing, I see a lot on like TikTok, they're doing TikTok shops and they're showing all their inventory, and then they're using through their vendors or doing it that way, right? So is that something that you want to start doing and have your mannequin and start, you know, putting a podcast on every day or every other day or something?
You know, 100%. I want to do all the things. Like, I want to do all the things. My problem, I'm not tech savvy. I am a millennial. But I'm not, I have a TikTok account. I'm not, I just recently started posting my own videos. I didn't know how to do that. I had to ask my children.
Yeah.
They're still.
I get that.
Yes. My children call them cringy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My mom and my daughter, she's 17. She's like, you're so cringe. Like, you told her I was gonna do a podcast. She's like, you're gonna do what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this podcast, whatever. She's like, you're so cringe. And I'm like, seriously, like, I'm cool. Like, okay, so let's just admit it. We're cool. We're a little behind the times. We need to figure it out. But no, you can do it. I mean, it's really just as easy as putting this camera on. I mean, and just going for it.
So I do go through, so the vendors that I have, they do send me samples of products they want me to have that I don't already have. So I have a wish list of items that personally I want. And then we use Shopify, and so our vendors and Shopify, it's, you know, connected, so it's automated for the most part, but I have to go in and manage it.
Got it. Okay.
I personally select every item that is in our store. I personally select the pricing. I put everything on there, so it's very time consuming, but I love it. It's hard though to think when you're looking at items, you have to think of what, not just what you think is cute or what you want to wear.
Especially if you're going to a larger size, like the 6X, right? Like, if you're going into the larger size, because some things, I mean, I was a bigger girl, so I just lost 80 pounds. And so, like, I'm still trying to figure out what my new body is supposed to look like, because I'm still going to my former sizes, and I'm like 6 sizes less than I was.
Yes.
But it's very hard. You get like this, that body dysmorphia goes in both directions. It's just a weird
100%.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, right? Like the way that you feel. I'm like, yeah, I'm a size whatever now, but like I'm still, like, when I'm going shopping, I'm still looking for the bigger size, right?
Yes.
So I think that's important too, because like you want to be able to say, okay, this is a cute outfit. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, right now there's like this dress. It's like a TikTok famous dress, and it has like chain in the middle, and I'm like, that's cute, but only so many people can really, because only so many people can wear that cute dress. It's not going to look good on anybody who's over a size 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so catered too.
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that. So I will get to that, because that is something very, 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 very important to me and to this business, and one of the main reasons I started this. But I do have like this outfit I'm wearing. I love rompers. I love 2-piece sets. They are so versatile. And these shoes, not the earrings, but the bracelet. These all came from my site, and I mean, I'll let you feel this in a minute. This is the Sawdust thing. It is amazing.
You're a walking billboard.
Yes, but I do have quite a few of the. Well, I say quite a few. I think we have like 1,400 products on our site right now.
Wow, that's a big inventory. Yeah.
Yes, we carry all kinds of things too, like sunglasses, hats, cups, everything. But I try to get samples of things to wear, and then I'll have people come over and I'm like, feel this. Is this comfortable? Is this cute? Is this something that you would wear if it was in your closet? How many times would you wear it?
Right. What occasion would you wear it for? Things like that. Yeah.
I try to get input from different people in my life, and whether they're neighbors. My sister has been probably my biggest outside of my husband and my kids. My sister has been my biggest supporter.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, my sister's awesome.
Shout out to sisters.
Yes, sisters everywhere, especially mine. She's the best. But I do try to get different pieces of clothes to wear, just so I know, and I'm checking the vendors. Like I'm trying to keep you on check too. I want to make sure that
absolutely.
I got a piece the other day, and it was like a single thin material dress, and it was one of those dresses. It's like the milkmaid dress that it's popular on TikTok too, and it was. I got it specifically because I saw it on TikTok, and I'm like, that is so cute, and it's flattering on
the model,
most figures, but the material, it was like super cheap, super thin, like stitching was looked like it was done in the 50s or something. It looked like it was old.
It's like fraying on the seam or whatever. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. They can TikTok that all day long, but
you're like, but I'm not carrying that in my store. Yeah.
But yes, I do want to eventually. I have a Facebook page that I'm not the best on keeping up with. That is one of the hurdles that I am coming into. It's fed to an Instagram, but TikTok is something I want to. Just because that's the platform everybody's on.
And I think generationally too, like who's your audience, right? Exactly. So like who are you selling this to? I think probably like social media is it, right? I mean, I've kicked and screamed. I've been doing real estate for 20 years, but this is like my first time like indulging in like social media because it is a must-have. It's the way that I need to sell business now. Like that is the way I do it because me cold calling and knocking on doors is nowhere near the solution anymore. Right? Like, so, and same for any business, like any entrepreneur, right? Like we have to embrace this podcast and social media and TikTok, right? And everybody's like, oh, don't do TikTok, right? But I'm like, everybody's on it. Like to succeed, I need to be on it, right? Like we need to do it. Yeah. So I know. It is hard though. We are asking our kids. How old are your children?
Yes. So I have a 12, a 14, and my oldest is almost 16.
And they know better than we do.
They do. My youngest was helping me find something yesterday, and she was like, yeah, Mommy, just go do. I was like, oh.
Really?
I worked on computers my entire adult life for a career. And
what did you do before you opened your boutique?
So I worked in the mortgage business for 14 years.
Okay.
I did processing and then underwriting. Absolutely loved it.
Wow. So then what made you, I mean, I know this is like a passion and a dream and your vision's big, but like why did you leave that to, I mean, full time? Like you left it completely and jumped ship completely.
I didn't jump ship on the mortgages. I was pushed overboard, basically.
Oh, well, and then that happens too in this industry, unfortunately.
Yes. So 2021 came around, and actually it was like a crazy time for us. We moved from Kentucky, picked up my husband and my husband, and our 3 kids. We, picked up our whole lives from Kentucky, small little town, and moved down here.
Why? What was the pull to Tampa?
We wanted to be on the Seminole, Indian Rocks Beach, that side. We had vacationed there. We actually bought a boat about 11 years ago in Boca Ciega
Mm-hmm.
and fell in love with the place.
Boca Ciega is my dream. That's exactly where I want to live.
Yes, so we started coming back 2 times a year, 3 times a year, and I was like, you know what? I'll work from home. Like the mortgage company I worked from home. He owned a body shop with his dad. I'm like, I can work from anywhere, and I made really good money. Well, let's move. We're not getting any younger.
Yeah, right.
The world's, you know, doing its thing. Let's just do it before we're too old to enjoy it. So we sold our house in Kentucky in December of 2020. I had no idea where we were going to go. We lived in our camper actually for like 7 months. Best 7 months of our lives, actually. I would do it again in a heartbeat. And we ended up in Ruskin because we tried looking at homes. We were still in Kentucky. We were trying to look at homes online and do like virtual showings.
Yeah, that's hard.
I think we looked at like 17 houses, and finally the realtor that we had she called us because, you know, we were looking at houses online, and then realtors just start calling.
Yeah. That's what we do. We stalk you basically.
Yes. And it was fine because it was like we were lost.
Out. Yeah.
And we had several realtors call us. The one that we landed with, she just was totally chill and down to earth, and all the other ones were like in a rat race. I mean, it was like the time to buy. And so we stuck with her. Honestly, I don't remember her name, but she, after we looked at so many houses, she was like, you know what? I've got an in with this builder. It's this new and upcoming town. It's a small town. You'll love it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Here's what we need. Send me that. Where do I find?
Right.
So she found us. It was like at the bottom of what we really wanted. It was kind of basic, but we said at the time this is going to be like our stepping stone into Florida.
Yeah.
So we signed like February of 2021, and thank God we did at the time because March 2021 everything went up. And we moved down here. It took them forever to get our house done. So we finally got down here October 2021, and then we moved down here. And I thought my husband was going to open, you know, another automotive business, and we got down here and he was like, hey, I think I'm going to be a sheriff.
Oh, okay.
I was like, baby, you're 36 years old. You know, we're not spring chickens anymore. He said, no, I think I'm going to do it. I said, okay, take a couple months. Think about it. Right.
And you're still working in the mortgage industry, so you're good.
Yes.
Like, you're good.
Like,
yeah.
I made really good money, and I absolutely loved the company that I worked for. I really did. And so we did that. He got in, and he was going through, it was, I think, 7 or 8 months of
the training.
The academy is what they call it, the academy. And he did amazing. I knew he would because he's one of those people. He's so good at everything he does.
I love that. Yeah,
I do too, but it's annoying.
Yeah. I know. You're like, can you be better at something? Just anything. Yeah, that'd be great.
Beautiful children, and I do mortgages.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm good at.
Yeah, that's all.
But October, so the next year, October 2022, I get this automated phone call. I'm on a trip with one of the girls that lives in our neighborhood, and first time I'd ever been away from my husband or my kids, and I was, you know, excited but nervous. And, I was on a trip with her, and I get this phone call, and it's this man's robot voice, like automated phone call from the company I worked for at the time, the mortgage company, letting me know that they were laying me off.
It was a robot calling you? They didn't even have the decency to.
No.
Wow, that's worse than just a text message.
I was in shock, and I never been let go of before.
Right, I've been there for so long.
Well, I had been there for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
I was at
In that particular, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I
But
worked-
still, yeah.
I worked for one mortgage company for 12 years, and then I call it being poached.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
I was poached by them to work for this other mortgage company, and I loved both companies.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Bank is the first company I worked for. They're like home.
Oh, okay.
They're home.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing people that I worked for, but the other company was going to pay me almost double my salary, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, financially, that's a smart decision.
Absolutely.
I need to make a grown-up decision now, and
yeah.
I absolutely loved the second company. Also, it was Movement Mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you.
I know. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
They were an amazing company. It was just.
Did the whole company closed down, or?
No, they didn't close down. It was just, the crisis.
Yeah, they're just letting.
2021 interest rates started hitting the roof. They were smart business on their side. They could pay
Someone younger.
one person
Mm-hmm.
a lot less than what they were paying some of us. So
Yeah, financially for them, that's their.
yes.
Well, but look at this as a blessing, right? Because now you're like, here's my opportunity, here's my window.
Yes.
So this is where your vision
Yes.
comes into play. How did you come up with the name?
So the name is kind of a two-parter.
Sawdust and Sunflowers.
Yes.
Okay.
So Sawdust is a little bit of my bringing up. So I grew up on a farm in Kentucky. We were always, my grandpa and my dad were always building something, mending fences, building, barns, fixing the barns. So there was always sawdust. And then, when you're younger, you like hate it because it's scratchy, it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
And then my husband his brother owned a construction company. Him and his dad owned a body shop. So he builds houses and cars. And so we anytime we would buy a house, we're on our third house now, we would buy a house, completely gut it, and then make it our own. So it's like a running joke in our family. We have like the fun house because every time somebody comes over, it's something different.
What did we do today? What did they do? Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Constantly sawdust everywhere. And I grew to love the sawdust because it meant progress. It meant improvement. It meant change, and you can't grow without change. So to me, it was just kind of fitting, and that represented a little bit of what built me, and then a little bit of my heart now, like my husband, my family, my kids, like what I have personally built. So that was the sawdust, and then the sunflowers comes from really my grandpa. So they lived beside us. It's my dad's dad, and he passed several years ago, but the best man I've ever known in my life.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's sweet. That's hard.
Yeah. So he would always, sunflowers was one of his favorite flowers because he was he was an old farmer, and he would always, anytime anything bad happened in our family, we always said it was cursed because it was always something bad happening. And it's also a running joke in our family, but he would always say, just be like the sunflower, keep your face to the sun. Just
wow, that's
yes.
sweet.
Whatever happens, just see the positive side of it.
So say that again. So say again what he said. Say his quote again.
Goosebumps.
I
again.
know.
I
Oh,
might cry.
gosh. Yeah.
Be like a sunflower and always keep your face to the sun.
That has to be a tattoo. You gotta get that tattoo. That's wonderful.
Yes.
I've never heard that before, but that positivity rings so true.
So that was just, I was like, that's it. I love sunflowers. I've always, I love sunflowers. I always have, just because when I think of sunflowers, I think of, a sunflower field. I think of him, even though we didn't raise sunflowers. But so that was just kind of it. It was the things that built me.
Yeah. So you are. It's like encompasses you. You are.
Yes, and I went through. My life has been traumatic, crazy disaster, a battle from the very beginning, and I've overcome so many things that most people probably couldn't. But you know, my grandpa was Native American, and he would always tell us we were warriors, we were warriors, we were warriors. Like, just be positive, praise God, be positive. You can get through anything with those two things. So it was really important to me that we had that aspect of it, and I'm like, this is my trademark, my stamp on the world. Like,
It could be your legacy.
yes, life is not going to run over me. I'm putting my roots down, and so that's kind of where the name come from.
I love it. I love it. There's a lot of meaning, deep meaning behind that, which is really nice. It wasn't like, you know, just kind of the fly by night. Like, you really put some thought into that, and it's like your past, your future, and like everything that what makes up you, who you are, and what your vision is, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And
That's incredible.
It's kind of like our story for other people, and it's kind of one of the many reasons that I wanted to do this business is I wanted people, and women especially, because I mean, women empowerment all the way. You know, women have a lot of rights now, but to me, women are just amazing beings. Like,
I agree. I agree.
I mean, women can do anything a man can do. Plus, we have the ability to, you know, grow humans inside our bodies and, you know, have children. But I feel like women are the most put down thing out there, and it just drives me crazy. And I spent several years in the modeling industry when I was younger, and that's another reason for the clothing business is I was forced to be, you know, you get this stigma, you have to be a size 0 or a size 2.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tall, I'm 5'8", and it was always, you had to be skinny, had to be skinny, had to be skinny.
Gosh, you're so right, yeah.
And you're not pretty unless you're skinny. I was anorexic for a period of time.
Wow.
I was bulimic. And I hated my body
No.
for 24 years. It wasn't until recently that I began to love my body, and a lot of that has to do with my 2 daughters, and they look just like me. And I was constantly, like, you know, complaining about my body. I hate my body, I'm fat. I recently just lost 96 pounds.
Wow, great job.
So, you know, I feel like I was 244 at my heaviest, and I was, you know, I contemplated suicide several times because of my weight, because the world looks at women, you know, big women that have weight, fat women, as they're nothing. They're ugly, they're, you know, lepers. And that's not true. Like, women need to know to love their bodies regardless of their size, regardless of skin color, size, style, you know, whatever. And that's part of the change.
Yeah, and you're doing that by offering the sizes that go up, what you said, to 6X, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's, like I said, I haven't seen anything unless you go to a specialty store. But, you know, even when I was, you know, 16, I think I was 16, at my heaviest, I was like, you could go in and you could find one of that size, because they just didn't create them. They just didn't make them. They're like, oh, we can get them online for you. But I'm like, I want to go into a store and shop like everybody else does.
100%.
Right? So I love that you're doing this. Like, you know, and over my lifespan, I'm 53 years old, but I've had 3 children, and I've been like every size known to man. Like, I'm like 4 to 20 to blah, blah, I'm like, I'm like all over the place, right? And it's hard. And then like the social stigma and everything else with it, like, it sucks.
It is. And you know, I am a Christian. I'm a firm believer, and I think, you know, God makes your body perfect just the way it is. Rather, you know, I was tiny, had, you know, 5 pregnancies, went through a total hysterectomy, My body went through hell.
Yeah.
I gained 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 100 pounds. I've been everything from literally a size 00 to a 22.
Mm-hmm.
And nowhere in that span of time, even when I was at my best, I'm talking, literal runway model physique, did I ever feel good enough until recently. And it's like a switch flipped to me, and I was, what am I doing? These people on social media, they don't matter. Their opinions of me, they haven't fought my battles. They haven't walked in my shoes.
You're so right.
The proverbial shoes they haven't walked in. Why do I care or put so much thought into what everyone else thinks about me? I need to care about what I think of me. And that's one thing eventually down the road that I want to do. I want to be able, with the business, to teach not only young girls, because we need to start teaching it at a young age so they're not warped like we are.
Yeah.
But also women our ages, because we've been stuck in this hamster wheel of thinking this worldview way, societal way of what beauty standards are. And I know they're trying to change it with, plus size models like Ashley Graham. Well, Ashley Graham is she's absolutely gorgeous, but look at her stomach. Perfect stomach. Yeah, she has big hips and big legs and a big butt.
And they're considering that like a plus size.
They're considering it a plus
normal,
size
right?
because she is larger on top, but she's fit. I'm not fit.
Right.
I have rolls in my stomach pouch, the fupa,
Yeah.
is what it's called.
Yeah.
And that's still pretty.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, oh my gosh, my hairstylist I just got my hair cut last week, and my hairstylist is also like into bodybuilding. And absolutely stunning. I mean, one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. Perfect hair, perfect body. Yeah. And we were talking about it, and not to throw her out there, so I'm not going to say her name, but she was talking about how she hates her body because she has stretch marks on her stomach. And she even had some kind of something done to try to hide them, and it didn't work. It just made them a different color or something. And I'm like, girl, if only you could see yourself
through my eyes, right?
Through my eyes. I just wish that for every woman, especially. I mean, every human, because I know there's a stigma for men also. So
we're not bashing the men today.
I'm not bashing men.
That's fine. Yeah.
But women especially, because it does take such a mental toll on you. Like I said, I honestly contemplated suicide because of my weight, and that's insane. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I would have left my husband and my whole family, but more importantly, my children, because of my weight.
Right. Like, really think about that for a second. Yeah.
When you sit there and you think about that, and you just kind of stew in it. That's big. And people do it all the time. People do it because not only their weight, but their looks or their hair or something.
So many different. Yeah. Yes. But over something that's like characteristics, like we're all flawed in so many ways, right? Like it's just
So I'm on a mission, personally, but also want to channel it through the business. Like, love your body. Clothes are not what makes you pretty. Your size isn't what makes you pretty. It's how you treat people.
Yes.
And it's your heart. If you're not pretty on the inside, you're not pretty on the outside.
Yeah. Well, and I think what you're bringing to everybody is you can be beautiful, and I'm going to help you through different accessories and clothing. And no matter what size you are, come to me. Let's find something that's perfect for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because clothes and accessories and shoes and makeup,
it makes you feel pretty.
It enhances what you already have.
Yes, it does.
And I want people to be comfortable in what they're wearing. Like, don't wear some tight, skinny jeans that you have to suck in a corset to make you feel pretty.
Yeah,
You know?
you're miserable all day. You
Yes,
have no personality because you're just mad all day long because you're uncomfortable.
Yes. I just want women and girls to be comfortable and feel pretty in their own skin.
Okay, so Courtney, how do we find you? If we want to shop at your site, how do we find you? Tell everybody where we can find you, and you're up and running 24/7. You've got a website, right?
I am. So you can shop online. Our website is www.sawdustsunflowersllc.com. There's no and. It wouldn't
Just one word.
Wouldn't let me do that. So just one long word, sawdustsunflowersllc.com. We do have a Facebook also. It is Sawdust, the and sign. I think it's the ampersand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunflowers. And we have an Instagram. It's linked to our Facebook page. It's also the same as our Facebook page. For now, we're just online. Hopefully, in the near future,
we're gonna get mobile.
We can get mobile.
Yeah.
I'm thinking even doing, using a pop-up tent.
It's so fun.
For now, to get into these markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you do farmers market pop-ups and things like that?
There are. So the Tampa Bay area is amazing. St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
All of these pop-up markets have all of these vendors, and it's amazing. I absolutely love going through there because shopping local with people you know and shopping small business.
Yeah, I love small businesses. That's why I do the podcast.
Yes, to me, it's like you're putting back into your community. I mean, not really knocking the big chains, but you're helping actual families.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, you shopping with me helps me pay for my daughter's softball.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I support small business all day long.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So, any pop-up events you could put on your website, right? So people know how to find you if you are going to do a pop-up event.
Yes.
Everything would be put up on there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything. I plan on, I'm rearranging some things in my schedule because I do still work full-time.
Okay.
I work for a CPA firm now. They're based out of Wichita, Kansas. They're amazing. But I work from home for them. So Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, they're my focus.
Well, thanks for coming in today and taking your break, I guess, with us.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Extended lunch
They
break.
appreciate that too.
But that's where you'll find me 8 to 5 behind my computer working on them. So nights and weekends, I am working
on the business.
And my husband and my kids help out with some of that.
Well, listen,
it's a family business. Like, I own it. My husband is registered as an owner only, something ever happens to me.
Yeah, sure, we want to keep it going.
But they give me their input. The kids give me their input on.
They're never shy.
On what is trending for their ages right now, and
so you do kids as well? You have kids items?
I don't do kid items, but a lot of the things that we have, maybe not this romper, but we do have a ton of rompers, 2-piece sets, dresses,
fun,
the cutest things that these young teenage girls like to wear. Shorts, jeans, pants.
So something for everybody.
Literally something for everybody.
How many items did you say you had? 1,400?
Yeah, 14. I think it's 1,437.
Okay, items on her website that you can go to right now at Sawdust Sunflowers LLC.com, and you can go to that website and you can see over 1,400 different products that go, all the way up to 6X, and any pop-up or anything that she's going to be doing locally, you're going to be able to find there. And I'm so excited. I'm so glad that we were able to bring you in today and support one of our local businesses. I think it's wonderful. And anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening today. Thank you, Courtney, for coming in and sharing some of your time with me today. I really, really appreciate that. And we're just building communities here. So that's what we want to do. We want to stay local. We want to do everything locally, support our local businesses. But I'm Rebecca the Realtor. And as always, thank you for tuning in. And I will talk to you next week. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Rebecca the Realtor. If you or anyone you know in the local area would like to be a part of our podcast, please have them contact me at the number below. Again, thank you for tuning in to Bars Underground.